Hi guys, so this video that we're looking at today is on tabbouleh. Now tabbouleh is the second recipe that you will cook this year, and it gives you the opportunity to learn a few different skills, including chopping, so it will help you to practice your chopping. It also looks at concassing a tomato, which is a new skill that you will learn and a skill that you will have to be able to do throughout hospitality. And then there's a few other things that we will learn as well. Now, whenever we're working with fresh produce, can I remind you the importance of washing your fresh produce to remove any pests, chemicals, or soils or anything that might actually contaminate the food. The other thing I'd like to remind you about is workflow and portion control. So workflow being having everything, your mise en place, essentially everything being set up so that you're ready to go, so that you have good workflow, so that things flow smoothly. Portion control meaning that every time you plate up a dish, the portion should be the same. So if you're serving food in a restaurant, that would mean that every time the plate went out to a customer, each plate should look exactly the same, should have the same portion of size on the plate. So really important terms, portion control and workflow. Workflow meaning good mise en place. Okay, let's get started. So hopefully if you watched the video before on tomato concassé, you should have your tomato concassé ready. Other things that you need to get organized is your carrot grated. You also need to have some cheese, get your ham, and have your parsley, mint and shallot chopped up nice and finely. Now the first thing you should do with this recipe is ensure that you soak your burgle. Burgle is essentially a form of wheat. Now what we're doing is we're soaking it in boiling hot water, and you'll have to soak that for about 5 to 10 minutes. Once it's been soaking, what you can then do is just squeeze the water out into your sink, and then we mix that into the parsley. Okay, so once you have squeezed your water out, it should look like this. Okay, so the next step that we need to do is, once everything is ready to go, we chop our parsley, and then we can mix in our burgle into our parsley. And we can also put in our tomato concassé. Mix that all together. By itself, it's going to be pretty bland, pretty flavorless. So what we need to do is add a dressing. Now the dressing that we have here is just a little bit of olive oil and some lemon juice. We're just going to mix that together, try and find those flavors. You can just whisk it together with a fork. The recipe says to use a jar, but I'm happy for you to just use a fork. Add some salt and pepper in just to season it, give it a bit of flavor. Mix those through. And then you can put your dressing into your tabbouleh mix. Give it a good mix. So what we need to do, first of all, is coat this with mayonnaise. I'm not going to do it for this particular wrap, but what you will do is put your mayonnaise down first. The next thing you then need to do is put your other ingredients on. The next thing is, and it might even be worthwhile you starting starting your wrap with some baking paper underneath, because this is just going to help you wrap your tabbouleh wrap. Now the reason why we use the baking paper is just to keep it nice and tight. So what we're going to do is start from the corner, and we're going to essentially, using the baking paper, bring the wrap over itself using the baking paper, and then you're going to tuck with the baking paper, tuck that wrap in under itself. So similarly to how you did the rice paper rolls, So it should be nice and firm. Then you're going to hold it there and just pull your baking paper out, making sure that your wrap holds its shape. Pull your paper out, and you're going to wrap again, keeping it nice and firm. Pull your paper out, wrap over once more, pull your paper out, and then you should be left with a nice wrap. You can just get rid of your baking paper. And then we're going to chop it in half. Turn it over so they're facing the same direction. And then you can wrap your tabbouleh wraps like this. Now, the way that I want you to finish these tabbouleh wraps off is by wrapping them up in some cling wrap, as though you were going to put them in a counter at a cafe, and then I'll get you to show me. And that is how you make a tabbouleh wrap.